Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Sunday, July 5th. I'm going to be continuing to play the game Persona 3 Reload in my Persona A Day series. That's where I've been playing the game one in-game day at a time, alongside the real calendar. I'm going to start off by going over what we did yesterday, just to make sure we're all caught up coming into today. Then we'll get into today's gameplay and see where that takes us. And after that, we'll come back here to the desk and talk about it a bit more. For any of you watching on YouTube, I'll have timestamps in the description in case you want to jump to a different section. And please be aware, this is a full playthrough of the game, so we will be encountering spoilers. So, let's take a look back at yesterday, Saturday, July 4th. Last time on the Persona A Day series, there was a lot of sentiment among the team with this upcoming operation during the full moon on Tuesday. Some of the team feels a bit more excited than others. I think Junpei and Akihiko are kind of excited to test themselves against the shadows. But specifically Yukari, she seems a little more apprehensive. I'm sure we're all rightfully concerned with the actual danger of everything, but Yukari actually stopped and talked to me before school and just said that she was feeling very nervous because all month she's been thinking about how little we understand about the shadows, and that hasn't really changed. We still don't know what we're up against on Tuesday. And she asked me how I was feeling, how prepared I felt. And I do feel pretty good with my preparation, but I did also reveal that I do have some level of nerves to this because we don't know what we're coming up against. I don't know that I would be a very good leader if I just overconfidently said we can handle anything. And she actually seemed good and relieved that I did feel that way. I guess it kind of came across that I was approaching this rationally and responsibly, and she also felt happy that she wasn't the only one that was worried about this. And we both talked about this. We are the only team that can really do anything about this, considering our powers, so we do have to step up and do it, but we're going to approach it in the most reasonable and safe way we possibly can. So going from there, we made it through our school day, and I continued that preparation side of things after school. My first target was to head over to the Aohige Pharmacy. They have their weekly sale on Saturdays, and I really needed to just really make sure I was as stocked up as I could be. I bought a couple revival items, some status curing items. I think I also picked up some medicine, just as a lot of fallbacks, because we don't know what we're really going to need or what we're going to face on Tuesday. And coming away from that, I really felt good about taking that time to feel more prepared now. It's the kind of thing we talked about yesterday. It's the kind you hope you don't need, but you're really glad to have if you do come to a situation where it is called for. I did contemplate a bit more after that fact about making sure I've got a good balance of personas on hand coming into Tuesday as well. My current stock looks pretty good, so I don't really want to upset the balance too much, but that is definitely another one of those things that I need to worry about beforehand so that I'm not surprised on Tuesday, unprepared there. So I had a little bit of time left in the afternoon after doing the responsible sides of things, and I wanted to catch up with Chihiro. So I made my way back to the school, and we were going to walk home together, but first she wanted to do some studying in the library. So we just went there, we studied together, went over our notes. We've got exams coming up in less than 2 weeks, so I'm sure there was ample things I could review. And I didn't actually make any specific academic progress, and we didn't rank up to a new rank with the Justice Arcana, but we did make some social progress. It was fun to get to talk to her a bit more again. It's been a little while, so it was probably nice just to see where we were both at with things. And I'm excited to get back in touch with her again sooner than later to continue those discussions. But it felt like a good productive continuation to the afternoon. After doing the shopping, coming back and doing some studying, just really felt like I was using and making the most of my time. After that, we headed back. I made my way back to the dorm. And there was another abundance of choices. A lot of people had different things that sounded fun. Mutatsu-san was at Club Escapade. President Tanaka was available at the Polonia Mall. Akihiko had a DVD he wanted to watch. And Junpei wanted to do some gardening up on the roof. There was also the option of Tartarus. So I had many choices at my disposal. And again, I decided to try something a little different. And this is the first time I've actually done any rooftop gardening with anyone else. Junpei and I headed up there, and it was a lot of fun to kind of see his take on things. He was impressed by the little garden section we've got, and I was happy to have the help. But he talked about potentially trying to raise some fancy vegetables, the kind that they sell for a lot of money at the stores that the rich people buy. And we kind of just got to segueing talking about how we could do that, but it's going to take a different amount of effort. But, there's that motivation. We talked a bit about how there's a better chance to get better results if you put in more effort. It's never guaranteed either. We also had that caveat side of it, but it was just kind of fun to talk about motivation and results and to kind of equate those. So we just, tended the garden in whatever way we did. Time passed, and he said, "Man, my back is sore. I'm caked in dirt. This was actually a lot of work." But it was that kind of good work we were able to walk away from, and we'll literally see our results from the effort we put in come tomorrow, I believe it is, when we can harvest those. So it was nice to just take that time to spend with him again. I've been really liking talking with the other people at the dorm in different ways in the last month or so, in ways that are outside of school and outside of Tartarus, to get to know them on different levels. And that was no different last night with Junpei. So that was a good way to end Saturday. I had a lot of fun throughout the day. Got to bed at a good hour, and that's taking us into Sunday for a day off. I feel like there's still a little bit of preparation to think about, or at least go through that mental checklist for Tuesday's operation. But hopefully I can make the most of our day today on Sunday. I'll get us over the game, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay. So here we are. This is the end of Saturday again. We're just finishing up some gardening with Junpei. Okay, we just finished up that gardening, so I went to bed. And that takes us into Sunday the 5th, so we've caught up with the calendar today. I'm starting nice and early with a call from somebody. A few somebodies. Okay, Chihiro and Yuko. Both great people, both I'd love to spend time with. Hello, it's Fushimi. Would you like to go somewhere together? Sorry for the short notice. If you have some time and are interested, please let me know before the end of the afternoon. Thank you. And Yuko. Guess who's bored? No school and no track practice? Guess that means we gotta go somewhere fun. Let's hang out. I like how their different personalities really come through even in their texts here, and they both sound like a lot of fun. I'm not going to reply to either of them right away, but I will definitely consider those options as well as I plan the rest of my day. There's no school today. It's almost time for the home shopping show. And of course, it's Sunday, so we have to watch that. And now that we've actually confirmed that we've met President Tanaka, we've even got his autographed business card, it's just going to be even more fun to see our new friend on TV.
So dance, if you wanna go ahead.
An irritatingly catchy song comes from the speakers.
It's Amazing Commodities!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the home shopping show, Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. I'm your host, Tanaka, with a live presentation of my amazing commodities. We'll show you great products at unbeatable prices. So don't touch that dial, because you won't want to miss these.
I'm going to do it!
Today we're introducing a tasty office snack set. Take a much-needed break from your hectic work life.
Good, good.
First up, we have the Yaba chocolate. And you get 3 of them. Our employees eat these all the time, too. Oh my goodness, it's wonderful. But wait, there's more.
Not bad, kid.
We'll throw in this. Dr. in jelly, too. Guess how many? 3. All of this for just 3,980 yen. This is a special, limited product available today only. You heard right. Today only. Should I buy the Yaba chocolate set for 3,980 yen? I feel like I have to, just because I don't really know what the acronym here is, or what the Dr. in Jelly item does. Those both sound very much like, very unlike anything I've seen so far this run, so I can afford 3,980 yen for that. I'm assuming it's some capacity of healing item, but it's like an investment in medicine if it does any of that. Whatever its use is, it's got to have some utility, or the game wouldn't let me buy it. So, yeah, I can afford that. Sounds like fun. I bought the Yaba chocolate set for 3,980 yen.
Thanks, kid.
Next time, we'll be introducing an outdoor activity set. Don't miss it. That's it for today. We're all sold out. Sorry, folks.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next Sunday, same time, same channel. The shopping program is over. He really does make a fun presentation. The irritatingly catchy jingle every time, just the way he delivers everything, it makes me want to shop. So, it is Sunday. We've got the day ahead of us here. I've already had a couple texts from people. I guess I can check my phone and start off with who else has texted me and come up with a plan. You can kind of see the computer over here as I pan slightly over. That's kind of my Sunday go-to. There's a good chance, without having any other without having any other information, that's how I'm going to want to look at spending my day. I've said it before, our character is a gamer. I like spending time with Maya. I want to develop that social link, and our schedules really only work to do that on Sundays. But I'm not going to do that right away. I'm going to check my messages, talk to everybody who's still around in the dorm, and take that walk around town just to kind of make it more of a full Sunday. And like I've said recently, I'm trying to get better about talking these things through before just jumping right to what did everyone else do. So trying to keep it unique to our playthrough a little bit more. We've got that message from Maya. New message from Maya. "'Tis a nice sunny day. Although I'm spending it inside, that's okay, because I got you. Since you don't care if I look cute, you better be online, though." And an ad from Wakatsu PR. "Are you eating well? Keeping a well-balanced diet nourishes your brain, which in turn can improve your studies. We prepare great food with all our hearts just for you. Remember, a healthy brain stems from healthy food. Wakatsu's got your back." Okay. So again, I'm leaning towards Maya. Though Chihiro and Yuka would also be fun times to spend. I did see both of them earlier this week, so it has been a somewhat recent. It was yesterday for Chihiro. Not that that's a reason not to spend time with either of them today, but just to keep everything in perspective. And now we can take a look and see what everyone else did. 99% on the social links. Chihiro, Yuko, Suimitsu, and Maya. 1% went daily life, and it's the daytime, so no Tartarus. I'll have to consider tonight looking at Tartarus potentially. We've got that full moon on Tuesday, so in 2 days. Everyone's average level is just a hair above mine. I'm closer to 25 than 26. I have hit that barrier floor, though, so exploration-wise, I've climbed as far as I can, so we're not behind there. Talking that out, I'm looking at spending time with Maya potentially, unless something else comes up. I'm going to talk to people downstairs, and I'm going to make sure, we'll look now, on whether or not I've got a hermit persona. I do, right here. I'm looking past the one that's already at the top of the list. I've got Lamia, so we should be okay. And that is also nice because that won't need to upset the balance of the persona I have on hand right now, which seems to be decent coverage throughout. Yeah, I mean, even right here, we've got great elemental coverage, some good resistances, a good balance of stats. So, yeah, it won't cost me any money. I don't need to make any space. All good things. So let's head out into town. Always kind of different seeing the dorm during a day off as well. The lighting is just different during the daytime. Even in real life too, isn't that always the case? Where even if you're going by a place you go all the time. I walk every day, but if I do it at different hours, it's like I notice so many different things as the sunlight's hitting, different angles or different things. Like, did they always have, was their front door always white? I'm sure it was, but it really stands out this morning, that sort of thing. Oh. Haven't had multiple people down here in the lounge on a Sunday in a while. Usually it's just been Fuka by herself. Looks like Mitsuru's around today, though. And as I'm panning around, of course, we have to check out the TV, because we always seem to catch the tail end of Phoenix Ranger Featherman R. So we'll see if that's still the case again today before the news comes on. Let's see what's on TV. On the next episode of Phoenix Ranger Featherman R. Episode 20, Married Life. We interrupt this broadcast for an important announcement. The missing elementary school girl has been found. That's good. My heart sank for a second there when I started reading Missing Elementary School Girl, because, as you're probably aware, for anyone who's watched this series thus far with me, we know an elementary school girl who's been talking about running away. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, but seeing the part of that headline there, that just, it wasn't you, was it? Not you, Maiko. And we still don't really know, but hopefully it wasn't. But whoever this was has been found, so that is good. Maybe I jumped the gun. However, her Slack expression indicates that she may have fallen victim to apathy syndrome. It's not good, but it seems like from what we've seen, we've talked to that skilled reporter before who corroborated it as well, that typically after the full moon, I'm not sure she made that connection, but we kind of did, that after the full moon, people with apathy syndrome seem to recover. So I'm going to use that as one more bit of motivation for our operation in 2 days. Even saying it out loud again, it's hard to really think that it's 2 days away now. It's felt like so far away for so long. It's like, oh yeah, we've got 3 weeks before the full moon. That's forever out there. But We've got that big yellow 2 up in the corner now, so day after tomorrow. That's why we're preparing today, though. Right, Mitsuru?
Yes? What is it?
I don't mind if you go out, but remember that we'll be facing a shadow soon. Try not to expend yourself too much beforehand. Great advice, and that actually ties in well with recent social link activities as well. Specifically with Miyamoto. I spent time with the track team on Friday, and that's where we learn more about his motivation for why he wants to win that All-Japan competition. He's got a nephew who was in an accident and needs rehab to recover his legs and regain the full mobility that he had before. And the nephew's only 5 years old. He doesn't like rehab. It's hard, it's painful, all things to very much sympathize with. And Miyamoto made the deal with his nephew that if I win this big track meet, then you'll promise me you'll attend rehab, right? But to that end, Miyamoto is now pushing himself too hard and ignoring any rest. He's got leg issues of his own now, and the doctor warned him that he himself could lose the ability to walk if he continues at this rate. So, to kind of circle that back to what Mitsuru was just talking about and the importance of rest and recovery. It's important to prepare and to be as ready as we can, but an important part of preparing is recovery and resting. To further broaden that spider web of social networks, on a couple days ago, it doesn't really matter which day it was, but we spent time with Yuko working with the elementary school kids we were training for their race against the 6th graders. And there was a discussion in there as well, where there were some kids who wanted to keep running, even though Yuko told them it was break time. And that was where she again talked about the importance of resting and recovery, and how that's where you can strengthen yourself, and you don't want to be too tired to rise to whatever challenge arises when the need comes. So yeah, just once again, that we've seen it all over the place now, and to hear it from Mitsuru this morning, it is good to keep it in mind. And it also kind of makes me feel less guilty about doing other activities today, like spending time in an online game. Now, I'm not going to overexert myself. Maybe we should reconsider Tartarus tonight and just try to take it easy and rest up. We do still have one more night tomorrow, but again, you don't want to overexert yourself. So, all good things to keep in mind. Fuka, how you doing today?
Hi.
We're just 2 days away from the next full moon. I still have no idea what kind of battle we should expect. But let's try to prepare ourselves the best we can. Better safe than sorry. I very much agree. And it does make it very difficult to prepare for the unknown. Obviously. That's not news to any of us. I'm sure all of you out there can attest to that same fact. But it's no different in game here. That's why I was stocking up on the random medicines I could. I said, I played this game before, but I don't remember exactly what we're coming up against, which is really nice because that really does put me more in the moment here. I don't know exactly how to prepare for things and to kind of cheat the system because I don't know. Our character doesn't know, so I don't know. It really works out well. I can't accidentally do things right this way. But not knowing what I'm going to face, how much medicine do I need? Which personas do I need? I can only speculate at this point until you're actually in the moment, and then you've got to just play the hand you've dealt yourself with your preparation. So I'll just try to give myself as many options as I can to work with. I feel good about our equipment. I feel good about our medicine. I feel basically good with our level. I could feel better if we were about a level higher, but within one level doesn't really feel too terrible to me. So looks like we've got social link cards all over the place. Some places to stop. So let's just do the full circuit around town. I'm still thinking I might make my way back to the dorm for some gaming, but we can see who else is out and around. Maybe Yukari and Junpei are with Ken at the Naganaki Shrine again, and we can catch up with him. We've got to see the weak cat. I mean, yeah, that should go without saying. And just to make our Sunday a little bit more than just gaming. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just get out and see the sights, to stretch my legs. This nice hot summer day. But it's summer and you only get so many of those, so maybe you have to enjoy what you can from them. Just kind of like painting around here and looking too, and it's always fun to see, I've said it most Sundays probably, but this one's no different, about how busy it is during the daytime on a day off like this. Yeah, it's not a day off for everybody, but for a lot of people it looks to be, and it's a lot busier today than it is on like a weekday afternoon or a weekday evening. Bookworms is open. I could spend time with the elderly couple. Some good meals up here. Some apathy syndrome sufferers around as well, which is less good to see. We'll stop in the Net Cafe and do some browsing there. It's kind of become another one of my favorites. Still nothing to buy. I almost like that little bit of disdain in the voice there. It's like, oh yeah, you again. Okay, yep, still nothing new to sell you. Okay, see you tomorrow probably. But I hope I'm an easy customer as I'm going through there. I was just gonna head on my way that way, but let's go over to the station here as well. Sometimes there's an elementary school over here with some things to say. And look at that, she might have something new to talk about today. She's been the one who's been concerned about not being prepared enough for middle school. She feels like her elementary school teacher and class should be doing more to prepare them for middle school. So she seems to be one of those that wants to be ahead of her years. The first term is finally over. It never felt this long when I was in 5th grade, but this one seemed to go on forever. I like the instantly dismissive, oh no, it's all in your head. But I would much rather ask her why. Whether there's a real reason or just a self-imposed thought for why the reason might be. I'm curious. Why is that? Because my teacher is so boring. I wonder, can you guys relate to teachers like that? I can think of certain ones in my experience as well, where time does seem to go inordinately slow. Everyone in my class wishes we had a different teacher. I'm sure a lot of us have wished that as well, but with time, you kind of look back at things differently. And there are some of those like, yeah, I mean, he was a good teacher, she was a great teacher sort of things. And perspective shift with time. That doesn't change in the moment, though, and how you feel. Oh yeah, there's the group. Nobody else over here. One of my reasons for stopping was also, as I've said a lot of Sundays now, there was that friend of Maiko's that we met, gosh, I don't know, probably a month ago, or at least now. He called himself Stripey. Well, Maiko called him that because he wore a striped jacket. He didn't introduce himself to me at all, so I've just been on the lookout for Stripey ever since because he said he comes here on Sundays. But so far, that hasn't actually been the case, other than the one time when we were here with Maiko. They're going to keep wondering if I just, randomly walk around. So let's talk to the group here first off.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Shima-san. You all come to the shrine quite often, huh? Well, me too, I guess. Very much like talking to the elementary school girl over at the station there. This seems like I would much rather ask why and make a conversation than to just jump to conclusions and be confrontational. I mean, what kind of response would that be if he just points out that he sees us here a lot? And and then I were to turn and say, "Don't you have any friends your own age?" Like, wow, what brought that on? I guess you're not my friend. So no, I would much rather have that open dialogue of asking him why. I mean, whether he wants to share or not, that's up to him, but I'm going to give him that opportunity rather than just making unfair declarations like that. No specific reason. I just feel like I can relax here. Totally the same, Ken. I come here pretty much daily for that same thing. Still, it's kind of a weird place for a kid to relax. Are you sure you're in elementary school? He does seem to be very much the mature, younger student type. I have to leave soon, though, since I left in the middle of doing my homework to come here. Yeah. Doing that homework is important, and I like that responsible approach, too. Yeah, he did take a break, and he acknowledges that, but he hasn't said, well, I'm done, I gave up, I'm not going to do this homework today. Yep, I'm going to take this break, and I'm going to come back ready to tackle it. I guess this is just that day of following threads back. This also feels like it ties back to what Mitsuru was saying. By not overexerting yourself, that leaves you able to address whatever situation comes up. So by taking a break now, he's going to come back refreshed and recharged, and maybe wherever he left off on the homework will seem that much easier because he's had that chance to think about it while relaxing. Best of luck to you, Omada. Let's find... how about over here today? Something different. Because we're at the shrine, it's a beautiful day outside. Let's just take some deep breaths, maybe get a drink of water, and just unwind from the hustle of it all for a minute. All right. Everybody nice and peaceful? Good tranquility? Everyone hydrated? Alright, I'm feeling good too. So let's keep going with our day. We've had that break, so now we can accomplish whatever comes ahead of us all the more readily. Looks like Bologna Mall's our next stop. The same sights, the apathy syndrome sufferers, Suimitsu. One of these days, I keep saying that, but we're coming up on a break soon, so those will be the days. And like I said, I'm good on the pharmacy over there. I'm good on my equipment here, so it'll just be to stop in and see see everybody. We've got those apathy syndrome cases amongst couples. But Officer Kurosawa, I'm not here to buy today, but I just want to thank you always for the support. I would definitely not feel as ready if it weren't for having you here, so thank you, thank you, thank you.
All done here?
I am.
Be seeing you.
And the same for the pharmacist over here. It was nice to do that shopping the other day. Well, pharmacist, thank you as well for running a wonderful establishment here. I feel good about the deals I was able to buy yesterday, and I'm sure they'll be invaluable going forward. So thank you, and have a good Sunday.
You got everything you need?
I do. I actually feel confident in saying that today, so thank you for that.
Come again, yeah?
Absolutely. And of course, I've got to check in on Igor and Elizabeth. I don't know if I'm going to make it back to the Velvet Room later, but we're definitely going to do that today. I've already got the personas I need, so we'll just... Nope. I was going to say, we'll just head in today, but if I don't talk to Elizabeth, I feel like there's just that chance I'll miss a request one of these times, so let's just make sure.
Are you accepting a request?
All good. So, nope, I've got all the ones I can.
Very well, then.
2 days until the full moon, so I've got limited chances now to make sure that
Welcome to the Velvet.
Yeah, are you aware that the moon grows full? I am, thank you. But I will, Igor, Elizabeth, hope you're doing well today. Happy Sunday. I'm going to count on you, as always, to make sure I'm in the best state I can be. I've got a good group of personas with me now, thanks to you, and I can only hope I can keep doing so going forward. So thank you, and I will see you when I do.
We look forward to your next visit.
And I do feel good about the personas I have on hand right now. There's a good mix of coverages and things, so hopefully I can make the best use of what I have. But that look... I forgot about Game Parade. How could I forget about a place like Game Parade? Various games are inside. Punchboxer, Real Wheel Racer, and Edgar's House of Fortunes. Fun sounding options. But I've actually got a game back home that sounds like a lot of fun too, so Innocent Sin Online feels like it's calling my name today. The theater looks just as busy as usual on Sundays, and I don't see anyone over there to interrupt with my talking to them, so we'll just head over to the outskirts, see our regulars here, and head back to the dorm. Weak Cat, happy Sunday. Looks like you're doing well. Hopefully you're staying cool and hydrated in this summer heat. Just keep hanging in there. Mew. Delinquents, looking good. And there's the timid cat. Looks like everything's in place, so I'm not going to bother them any further. Today's probably their day off as well, so they don't want me taking their time up for them. There's also that feeling, you know, again, as that gamer, it's like, I can't wait to get back to the dorm and get inside and get into that game. Exams are less than 2 weeks away, so there's that to not put too far in the back of my head. But again, that just is all the more reason to take these breaks when we have them and enjoy them. We've been spending a lot of time, every Sunday for quite a while online with Maya. The last time we advanced the social link, she talked more about some of the other teachers she works with at school and just the different personalities she comes across with. There was a female teacher that she seemed somewhat displeased with. There was the teacher, Mr. E, that seems like that traditional type of teacher. And so it's just been kind of nice to be that person that she feels like she can vent to about these things while we're doing something fun like gaming. There's kind of that freedom of just being able to talk to somebody that that doesn't work at the same place you do, that you can vent to these things about and not have fear of it coming back to any of the people around you. You still obviously do have to watch what you say, and in this case we're typing it, so anything you put in writing is a little concerning, but it is nice to just have those outlets to talk to people about stuff sometimes. And I like the fact that Maya trusts me enough to share that sort of stuff with me. Hopefully we can just get a little closer in that regard. And whether or not we do, we're both going to enjoy some gaming today, so that right there, no matter what else happens, should be a win. Well, let's take a look in here and just get the game summary in case I forgot something in my recollections. Oh, rank 7 already. We are just flying through this one. Yeah, Maya vented about her fellow teachers as usual. After letting it all out, she logged out in a better mood. Short, to the point, just exactly what you'd want it to be. So let's spend the day enjoying some games today in Innocent Sin Online with Maya. Just keep saving the game here, but here we go. The chat box is blinking. Looks like Maya wants to play Innocent Sin Online with me. I've got Lamia. We might grow closer. Lots of good things. Yeah, I feel like this is a good use of my time. It's relaxing, it's something I like, and it's fun. I'm in Shinagawa Dungeon. And again, just before we even continue looking over my shoulder there, I don't see Maya's character this time. I've said it before, but I feel like it has been a little while, but this game does so well with these background details. That fact I have said quite frequently and quite often, or quite frequently and quite recently. But in this case, the computer screen being animated like this, we'll actually have our character typing when he's typing, but Maya's character will appear online when she logs in, and it'll disappear when she logs out. So little things that they don't need to do, but that just go that much further to make the world feel real. I'm in Shinagawa Dungeon. There we go. There's Maya. I hope Tatsuya gets here soon. Maya is walking nearby. I'm not even complaining today or anything. So rare. But I have to tell Tatsu because he's my MMO partner. I'll be brave. Ooh. This is kind of interesting too. As much as I'm overhearing conversations around town or in school, it feels like we talked about with you guys here that eavesdropping almost seems to be one of my character's special skills. And somehow I'm actually doing that in an online game now. But to get back on pace here, I have to tell Tatsu because he's my MMO partner. I'll be brave. So much of her dialogue is just dialogue that it's really hard to read, so there you go. I mean, was I close in making the facial expression there? I'm so lame. I'm blushing for reals. Oh noes. Now I'm starting to get sweaty. Ooh, this is tough. Between the two, I mean, my gut reaction is hurry up and tell me still feels unnecessarily abrasive, so I'm leaning more obviously away from that. But when someone is talking, they are talking to themselves, and you obviously know they are when they're talking about telling you something by name and they're not talking to you. It feels kind of unfair to just insert yourself into their dialogue, and it's like, oh, I've been here this whole time, But maybe I can, try to not look like I was listening in too closely by just asking her if she's talking to herself. Then I can kind of confirm or deny as much or as little, depending on how she follows that up with, what did you hear sort of thing. Whereas hurry up and tell me, it's just like, you definitely heard what I was saying about telling you something. And that's unfair for whatever she has to tell me because she wants to do that at her own pace. Obviously, whatever it is seems like it's weighing on her mind, so to force her to hurry up on that seems extremely unfair. So I guess I've talked myself out of this being a close call. It's like, no, hurry up and tell me doesn't even register anymore in my thoughts. It's obviously only going to be, are you talking to yourself? So, are you talking to yourself? How long have you been there? Maya seems surprised. The thing that surprises me most of all this so far is the fact that we seem to be typing these chats to each other. At the very least, I'm typing. I don't have a microphone. And the way Maya's information comes through very much looks like it was typed. We actually had her misspell things a couple times before, or use acronyms that I was able to read into, like SOB. Although, maybe thinking back to that, maybe she was actually saying that because she'd been drinking, and so maybe that's why I was able to discern and decipher what it was. Yeah. Things to think about and wonder. But either way, I surprised Maya. Sorry. I was kind of spaced out. Maya seems to be embarrassed. I'm kind of interested in someone from school. He's kind of a student, though. OMG, I said it. None of the male teachers are even in my league, so I gave up looking for BFs at work. I never thought I'd fall for a student. That's kind of crazy, even for me. Again, this one feels like rushing a decision by asking, are you going to ask him out? Wow, this thought process has come up a lot today. I would much rather ask a question and gain more information than to just make a declaration and assumptions. So I'm going to keep that advice going for the exact same reasons as before and ask, so what is he like? He's kind of quiet, but real mature, and intense looking, and hot. I love this one emo face he makes sometimes. Who needs food and water when I got that? Maya seems happy. All right, very cool. He's one of my own students, actually. He lives in a dorm because his parents passed away. Just transferred in this year. Maybe I can pull some strings and talk to him one-on-one. I am his homeroom teacher. Oh, by the way, you don't need to be jealous. It's just a little crush, okay? Tatsuya is the only game partner for Maya. No worries. I can tell that Maya cares about me. I do, in all sorts of ways. She's talking about deep feelings she has now. I mean, these aren't superficial things about the annoying coworker. This is something, someone she actually likes. Her real feelings about someone. And that distinction as well, that she doesn't want me to feel bad about that either. It's like, I'm still Maya, and Maya and Tatsuya are still gaming buddies. We're still going to keep doing this, so she's kind of keeping everything in perspective, but showing me deeper sides of her, so I appreciate that. And she does care about my feelings, because she did go back and say, but, don't worry, this doesn't change anything in between us. Oh yeah, I definitely feel like we're growing closer. That is rank 8. Wow, rank 8 in the Hermit Arcana, the online game. Our online gaming buddy, Maya. Massive progress. And a very fun day, too. Just to get to sneak up on her, but then walk it back and kind of just talk with her and have her reveal some deep things that she is actually thinking about that are important to her life. And to not be embarrassed or afraid to say such things to me. She trusts me that much and feels comfortable sharing that with me. And it's just really cool. And I'd like to hope that I can be just as open with her about stuff as well. And from there, we also got to do some gaming, so we're winning across the board here. That is rank 8, the online game. I haven't made my appointment yet, but I'm going to go to a salon. There it is. Shima-kun will be head over heels for me the next time he sees me. Alrighty, Tatsuya. I gotta go. Let's think positive. Alright, Maya. Maya's player signed off. So, it could be a coincidence. Who knows? Maybe there's lots of Shima-kuns out there. I'm the only one I know off the top of my head, but Maya's player signed off. I decided to log out as well. But that was quite the reveal at the very end there, if it is close to what we're imagining it might be.
Oh.
Oh, hello. I didn't realize you were already here. Yeah, I snuck upstairs and stayed there all day. Yeah. Looks like there's actually fewer people here now than there was before. Oh, wait, Yukari came back. But yeah, still thinking about Maya. We'll move on with the evening here in a minute. that was quite this set of interactions. Having it revealed that she likes someone at school, that she's a teacher at school, that someone she likes is a student, that it's one of her students, and that the name is Shima-kun. A lot of reveals. But I'm still happy we were able to get close and talk about that. So, take that however you want. I'm happy about it. And like a lot of my social links, I am probably going to keep a lot of it to myself, so don't you guys go saying anything either. Yukari, how's the day been? I wonder what the next shadow will be like. I bet it'll be stronger than the other ones so far. That seems likely. Everyone we've encountered so far has been stronger than the one that preceded it. So if we're following those patterns and trends, it's most likely going to be the case. Fuka, how's the day?
Chill vibes. The nighttime.
What is everyone's status, by the way?
Anytime
Everyone could go. Okay, so that is an option to head out.
relax to the sound that goes
I have to think about that, though.
around, she said.
As much as we talked about taking breaks and not overexerting myself, that really does feel like maybe advice I should take.
But we gon' chill today.
Again, maybe we're focusing too much on the narrative side of things rather than this is a video game, but we're in the moment here, and I want to keep us there, so... You notice, obviously, that I walked over to the refrigerator here because I've got a whole brand new lukewarm taiyaki that I'm looking to find a place in the fridge for. It's the end of the month. It'll be cleared out, so it's the better part of 3 weeks away yet. I do have a chilled taiyaki as well, but I figured, well, why not look to try to get another one in here? I don't know what they're for, but, well, actually I do now. They're a healing item. Nice and affordable. Heals, I think it was 100 HP. So, if I can get one more in there, there's no reason not to. On the 29th. Oh, haven't checked my mail yet. We should do that. How about on the rooftop? That'll be different. I can check out the onions that we can harvest tomorrow. Oh, there's everybody. I don't know why I just assume, well, nobody's down in the lounge, so everybody's out, because for the better part of a month now, there's been more activity up here, so here's the rest of the group. And it looks like Mitsuru actually might want to do some reading. Haven't read with her yet before. Akihiko, are you ready for Tuesday? 2 days left. Don't slack off in your training until the last minute, okay? I know people sometimes feel like they've hit their limit, but for most people that's just an excuse. In reality, they've just given up.
Isn't that right?
No matter how much you're suffering, pushing through it is the only path to real progress. Deep stuff as always from Akihiko. Kind of making me question my ruling out Tartarus. But I still... I'm still thinking we'll look at other things. We'll keep it in mind, though. I won't take it fully off the table yet. Oh, Junpei, those instant meals, they look so good.
No way.
The shadows just keep getting stronger, huh? Even if we train harder, it's always going to end up a close match, right? Possibly, but kind of like Akihiko was just saying, that's all the more reason for us to train so that a close fight doesn't become a fight we can't win. Reality is harsh, man. What if we hit our limit one day and get our asses kicked? That'd be totally lame. There is that fear, but that's that motivation too, the other side of what Akihiko was saying. You know, we do this training, we take this time now because we want to be ready for it. That actually, in keeping to tying things back, Akihiko and I did some cooking, and that was the important lesson we talked about this week in preparation. He got some good ingredients, and he understood the recipe, and he just talked about how getting everything ready ahead of time just made us that much more prepared to make something more complicated. He had all the ingredients, they were all ready to go, so all we had to do was actually make the meal rather than prepare the meal as well. If that makes any distinct difference. But we were able to make the pork liver stir fry, and it came out really well because we took that time ahead of time to get things ready, or I guess he did. But we just we're able to then use our time more efficiently with the things already prepared. See that applied again here too. We're going to prepare so that we can be ready. I can harvest these onions tomorrow. I've had Junpei's help with them, so they should be even better than traditional onions. I'm going to check my mail while I'm up here. Wild Duck, the wait is over. The weekend Wild Duck set is finally here. Plus your free drink that comes with the set will have extra ice. Pick away, Wild Ducklings. Secret recipes? Mysterious ingredients? Do you have the guts to go Wild Duck? And another ad from Wakatsu. I think we had one during the day. We've got one tonight here. Limited set meal today. Today we're serving up our special limited dish, only for our regulars. A full-course seafood set meal available at a reasonable price. We hope you will all try it. Remember, a healthy brain stems from healthy food. Wakatsu's got your back. All right. Well, let's take a look and see how people spent their day. Seeing Mitsuru as an available person to read with, that could be fun. I might want to look at the social links that are available if either President Tanaka or Mutatsu-san are available. That could also be good. And it's kind of like taking her word and Akihiko's word, kind of almost opposing sides. Still very much in the same general direction of being ready for Tuesday. Mitsuru suggests taking those breaks when you need them to be fully rested and recovered for challenges, whereas Akihiko takes the other side of the best way to be ready for a challenge is to put the work in ahead of time. They're both right. You can't have one without the other. No training and only resting leads to ill preparedness, and overtraining leads to overexertion, which leads to ill preparedness. So I just have to really see where I think I'm at right now. I was gonna take a look and see how everybody else spent their evening. Well, it looks like Mutatsu-san might be, is available. 8% of people went social links. A few people did go to Tartarus, 1%, which makes sense. There's that reminder of rescuing people. Those people had to be rescued before the full moon. We're already caught up and they've all been rescued, but if you wait too long, you lose that chance. And most people went with the daily life activities. I don't know. Again, there's that. So many things sound like fun. I haven't read with Mitsuru before, which would be good, but social links are always a draw as well. I just made the social link, the Tower Arcana, with Mutatsu-san earlier in the week. I've already spent a couple nights with him. I think we're rank 2 now. Rank 3 already. That's right, he asked me if I have any friends. He lectured me on how people are unable to love anyone other than themselves. I don't know, it could be good to try to take him up a rank. Or a nice quiet night here at the dorm doesn't sound bad either. Maybe I'll head out, I'll take that walk like I like to do just to see a couple more places and let that mull over in my head a bit more. There's also Tartarus, which I said I can't fully rule out, but it's probably third on my list of options right now. I've already been by the Net Cafe today. I could always get dinner, that is true, but like I've been saying more recently, I'm trying to prioritize people over places with stuff, just because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. And if I can make those social connections now while people are available, that just seems all the better. I'd like to think that Wakatsu Kitchen or those sorts of places will hopefully be there other days, but you can never say that about the people in your life. I don't know what's going to happen with, who knows what Junpei's schedule is going to be like next week or next month, or Mitsuru's or anybody's like that. So if you've got the time now, there's a lot to be said for taking that time now while you've got it. The same holds true with Mutatsu-san here at Club Escapade. I could spend time with him and it wouldn't actually cost me a social link, I say that, but I don't have any tower persona yet. I don't think I can until level 31, which is a little ways off. So I wouldn't need to upset my balance of personas to pursue progress in that social link. And once I do unlock the ability to fuse a tower persona, having the social link already established will make it that much stronger, which would be to my benefit. Yeah, well, I'll stop in the club here, but I'm still thinking a quiet night at home just sounds kind of nice. Yeah, I was there all day during the gaming during the afternoon, so maybe that'll just kind of be with these couple breaks, kind of like Ken taking a break from his homework to step out to head back home to continue. I might just do the same, but in more of a fun vein. It's less homework and more home enjoyment. The Candid Woman and her friend, the fortune-telling fanatic, they both seem to have something they want to say. Fortune-telling addict, I guess, is the way the game refers to her. But Candid Woman. Amazing. Her fortune came true. She seems pretty caught up in the moment, though. Is she going to be all right? Hey, listen to this. I did what Mama told me, and I made a real friend. This is so great. Maybe I should have my fortune told next time I'm in trouble. Yeah, I can see where Candid Woman is coming from there, where it is good that her fortune came true. Being caught up in the moment, though, is she going to be all right? There's that fear of kind of outsourcing your decision-making process. If things go well based on things like fortunes and that placebo effect that we can bring back up again here, as we've come to talk about that a lot during fortune-telling sides of things. A lot of times you're able to see good in things if you're looking for good in things. So if you follow some advice that's generally given, like, spend more time at this place, and it's a social place, and you're more likely to meet someone. It's like, well, yeah, there are more people here. But if you're open to the act of being here leads to meeting people, and you meet someone, then you've made that connection of, wow, because I followed that advice, this meeting happened. When you kind of made it all happen yourself by being there yourself. So, but if you only rely on things like fortunes then, or luck or things, then you've taken your hands off the wheel, basically, and anything that happens is no longer in your control. I was told not to go out today because bad luck was going to find me, so I had to stay inside today. Or I always have to have this rock with me because I've never been attacked by a tiger because I've got this rock. Is this a magic rock that keeps tigers away? Very unlikely. But, if you're told that this rock is what keeps tigers away, you're going to keep that rock. So, you've got to keep that ounce of caution in your decision-making process and still take agency in your own choices. If you're looking to make friends, that happens by you taking those steps, not by relying on advice from others, I guess. Well, at the end of the day, you're in control of your destiny, I guess. That's where I'm really trying to go with it. Fortunes can be good in that they'll give you that motivation to put yourself in those situations, to interact with things or encounter things, but at the end of the day, you're the one that has to take those steps. If you stop taking steps and only rely on fortunes, then those are the consequences you've set up for yourself, and you've got to live with them. But I've made my way back to the dorm because I do think spending time reading with Mitsuru sounds like a fun activity. It was fun reading with Fuka before. It's been a lot of fun reading with Junpei. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what new things I can learn about Mitsuru, what her taste in literature is like. And it's a nice quiet thing to do around the dorm, to rest up and get as ready for Tuesday as we can. I've already read most of the books here. Oh, are you here to look for a book too? The ones in this section are a little difficult, though. Oh, cool. Reading together with Mitsuru might help improve my academics. I was going to enjoy, like I say, learning about her taste in books and things and just getting to spend that time together, but if I can work on my academics as well, we've got exams coming up before too much longer, so this is just perfectly in line with that. So I feel even better about this choice now. Do you have a book to read? If you'd like, I could lend you something from my collection. She definitely does seem to be an avid reader. There are plenty of evenings down in the lounge where she's got a book in hand. Yeah, she can lend me something from her collection. I would appreciate that. I wonder how she'll approach that. I mean, does she have books that she knows people would like, or does she take into account the different tastes from people, or does she give me a choice? It'd be interesting to see what her approach is. But yes, please.
In that case...
All right, I'll go grab that book for you. Oh, that book. So she's got something in mind.
I didn't put a lot of thought into what books I brought. I just took whatever caught my attention.
Well, there's a good way to go at times.
I apologize. I should have asked what your preferences were beforehand.
I actually kind of prefer having a variety of choices without my preferences being asked. It can be kind of hard to even declare a preference depending on, the circumstances of what situation you're in, who's around or who I'm talking to, what does Mitsuru like? I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to say the wrong answer, so if I've got like 5 or 6 books here to pick from, that's perfect for me because then I've got choices I can make. Whereas the other side, it's like that nebulous unknown of like, well, what kind of books do you like? I kind of like all books. What do you like? I'm sure I like the same thing you like, which isn't fair and isn't right, but this actually does let me really choose something that does stand out to me without feeling guilty or sheepish or self-conscious or any of those things. So I appreciate this side of things, so no apology needed.
If you don't mind my asking now, what kinds of books do you usually read?
There's the question, though. Well, I do like probably not so much textbooks. I've read interesting bits from textbooks before, but those wouldn't really be on my radar typically. I like manga, but I like novels. It's kind of hard to say what do I usually read because it varies. I don't have a set specific thing that I usually read. It's whatever interests me in the moment. It could be a manga, it could be a novel. It could be anything really. Probably recently I've been closer to reading novels than I have manga, but... And it's also that I don't want to just try to put on that mask to reflect back whatever my audience is asking about. So she seems like the kind that would be closer to anything but manga in these three choices. Nothing against her. I mean, she could totally surprise me and be a big manga fan too. So I don't want to just say novels because I think that's what she reads and that's what she likes. But I do like novels. There's something to be said for knowing your audience and keeping the conversation close to being in line with other people. If I were to just boldly declare I love manga and she likes nothing about it, I'm sure she would still be polite about it, but it would kind of limit our conversation potential. But between, well, I guess all three are technically varied things. I mean, you could have a textbook on any topic or a manga on any topic. But I was going to say, but the great things about manga or novels is they can go in any direction, in any sort of genre. Sci-fi, fantasy, slice of life, all that good stuff. But textbooks are just the same, depending on whatever discipline the textbook is on. But, I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to be wrong in either of these choices, so I guess I should just make one. But I'm going to go with novels, probably. There's a lot to be said for just a good novel.
Oh, do you now? I'm partial to historical fiction myself. I actually read a lot of it.
Historical fiction is interesting, depending on what liberties they take with history. I still kind of like it to be close to that real enough framework. I mean, you can insert things and be present within history and still have it be true to the elements of history. Or you can go way off the rails, which, has its moments as well. I'm not going to decry any medium entirely offhand. I mean, that's just me closing myself off to things, but different executions hit differently.
I'm rather fond of novels. All you have to do is turn the page to experience another person's life.
Yeah, that's a very elegant way to put it, but yeah, it's so cool like that. And gaming seems to be the natural evolution of that side of things too, and it's like, you're putting yourself in another world, and that all stems from reading as well, and I guess that stems from like the oral storytelling and things, and keeping that connection to the past, which I guess ties into her love of the history side of it too.
That reminds me, Yamagishi mentioned liking novels as well.
Yeah, we read together. It was sci-fi the other day. That was a lot of fun.
I never inquired further, but maybe she'd make for a good reading partner.
I enjoyed it.
Incidentally, the books I brought today are things like biographies and history books.
Yeah. Again, any of those topics could be great. It really depends on a lot more specifics. There's all sorts of things I don't know, be it biographies or histories. So there could be a person I've never heard of, or a historical event I have no knowledge of, and that would just be totally fascinating depending on how it's presented.
I can attest that they're all worthwhile reads. Rather accessible ones, too.
Nice. I appreciate that she took that level of care as well to not give me something that's, you need to have these 3 reference books to understand this one book, and this one's all in a different language, so good luck with that. So, accessible entry-level type stuff. It's just that much more fun, really, to not have to really dig that deep, but still enjoy it.
I hope you find them to your liking.
And I appreciate just the length she's going to be accommodating here.
Oh my, you're really tearing through the pages. I'm impressed by your focus.
It's been fun with everybody so far in the reading in the evenings, and how much they talk about how much progress we make just reading together. And I've talked to you guys about that same feeling too, and how cool that was in school when we just had that reading time, and it was just that fun shared experience of doing something in an individual setting. We're all reading something different at our own pace, but we're all still doing the same task. It was kind of cool. By diving into a world of unknown, my academics have improved. Very nice. And just another bonus on top of all the others. I mean, getting to spend time with Mitsuru and to read about topics I'm not familiar with and enjoy the evening. All great things.
It's nice to spend some time reading quietly together like this.
It is. That's just what I wanted the evening to be, to unwind from the week and to take that break now to prepare for the upcoming week.
Thank you. That made for a relaxing evening.
Likewise, I'm very happy to have done it, so thank you as well, Mitsuru.
Well then, it's about time we return to our rooms. Good night.
After a good night reading, a good full night of sleep will be perfect. That should set us up for Monday in the best shape we can be in. All right. With that, we've reached the end of Sunday. Let's head back to the desk. Okay, here we are. So that was the end of Sunday, July 5th, and it was another great day. It was that day off that I wanted it to be. It was really enjoyable. I had those texts early on in the morning from Chihiro and Yuko, and they both had opportunities for me to spend some time with them during the day, which I really appreciated. I didn't take them up on it, but I appreciate them reaching out and giving me that chance. It was nice to just kind of get up and, I did some shopping even. I forgot about that on Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. I got to buy some items I'm not sure I'm actually going to need, and I was just curious on what they were. I figured I've got the money. Seemed like some fun to do. Was able to talk to Mitsuru and Fuka down in the lounge before heading out for the morning. And it was kind of nice to have them frame the day for me and that talking about relaxing. I was trying to come into today with that in mind already, but to hear it talked about right from the get-go as well just kind of reinforced that mindset for me. So I made my way around, did a bit of a checklist in my head about what I needed for Tuesday. I feel good about my equipment, I feel good about my medicine, and I feel good about my personas right now, so things are, for the most part, lined up. The only thing that was a little bit on the side of my head was thinking about our levels as a party. I think we're close enough that it's not going to be an issue, but today was the day for a day off, and so I was happy about that. I did my walk around town, saw Yukari, Junpei, and Ken at the shrine again, and just ended up making my way back to the dorm to enjoy some gaming. Sundays are my Innocent Sin online days, it seems, and Maya was online, so that was just perfect. We were able to game together. As soon as I logged in, actually, she was talking to herself, and I was overhearing some of that because she had something she wanted to tell me. And once I revealed I was there, she was surprised to see me. But she was able to say that there's someone at school that she likes. It's a student, and it's actually one of her students in the homeroom she teaches, which was quite the reveal. But she was happy enough to be able to actually say that to me, to share that thought with me. That just shows how much she feels comfortable around me and trusts me, so I appreciated that. Again, I was just very happy that she felt comfortable enough to share that with me. So often that would be those sorts of things you keep to yourself, and we'll just play some games today. Don't worry about that. But this just kind of feels like that next step forward from venting to work, or venting about work to me. She's actually going a little bit deeper, talking about deeper things and meaningful relationship sides of things. So I appreciate that trust. And she seems to trust me, so that kind of works both ways. We feel that connection. We got a little bit closer, and that took the social link rank up to 8. We're really close now. We're getting up there. I think she logged off shortly after that, so maybe the two of us didn't game together too much for the afternoon, but I was able to continue that. But before she left, that was the big to-be-continued reveal that she was going to head to the salon sometime and change her look up a little bit because she wants Shima-kun to notice her. Like I said, as far as I'm aware, I'm the only Shima-kun that I've come across, but who knows at this point. But that was almost quite the cliffhanger to leave things off on for the end of this social interaction. But she hopped offline from there, so based on that, I was able to do whatever I did in the online game, or focus as much or as little as I could on that. But either way, it really did feel like a good, fun afternoon. Getting to do something I like with someone I like. Conversations were different than normal, but they were deeper and connected us a little closer, so it felt like a really fun afternoon. By the evening, I had to again decide what I wanted to do, and it was kind of fun to talk to Akihiko and get the other side of that reminder to go alongside with what Mitsuru had said in the morning. He was talking about the importance of being as prepared as possible beforehand, so that you're not struggling in the moment when you actually need to rise up and address whatever problem you're facing. Mitsuru's side of things was rest and recover so that you can be at your best to face what challenges are in front of you. And Akihiko was the other side, to put the time in ahead of time so that you're ready as soon as you've got to face those challenges. We talked about how they're both right and those go hand in hand, and either extreme is a bad thing. Too much rest leaves you unprepared. Too much work leaves you overexerted and unprepared. So it's striking that balance. So I was able to use that information to kind of further inform tonight's choices. And I did something different from usual and got to spend some time reading with Mitsuru. I've read with Junpei and I've read with Fuka, but I haven't been able to read with Mitsuru yet, so it was nice to have that chance this evening. She brought out a variety of books from her collection. She likes historical fiction, which was cool to hear, but she brought out a lot of history books and biographies tonight, so it was nice to be able to peruse those and see what sort of topics she has on hand and the things she likes. I was able to improve my academics by a point as well, which was very nice. Wasn't enough to rank it up, but with exams coming, I'll take everything I can get. And she was just having as much fun as I was, it seemed. We were able to quietly read together. She commented on how much progress I seemed to be making, and she was encouraged by that. And she said, for her point as well, it was just a very relaxing night. It was peaceful, it was just what she wanted it to be, and it was just how I felt with it as well. So just another great way to end a day off. We decided before it got too late to both head to our rooms and get rested up because Monday morning tomorrow is the start of a new week. So I headed up to my room, got to bed at a decent hour, and just kind of got to think about the day. It was a really good day. I got to do the social things I wanted to do. I got to get closer to Mitsuru and understand more about how she sees things, and just to take that break while also being productive. I did that mental checklist, being as ready as I can be for Tuesday, and I took it easy today to rest up and come into the start of the week and the day before Tuesday now to just be as energized and ready as I can be. That way, once it's time to work, I'm ready to work, sort of thing. So with that is how the day came to a close. That was the end of Sunday, July 5th. It was a great day, and I want to thank you so much for sharing it with me. It always means so much that people want to spend their time with me. I appreciate it, and I hope I can continue to keep seeing all of you. My name is Tom Shima. I stream this Persona a Day series every day at 12:30 Eastern Time on Twitch. So anytime you're available and you want to stop by, I would love to have you. I also upload each day's playthrough to a playlist on YouTube, so if you ever want to catch up on a previous day or you don't have time to make it in for the day's live episode, everything's available there to watch at whatever's best for your schedule. I know everybody's busy, so sometimes that's the easiest way to go, and I want to have that option for you. I hope you all have the best Sunday we can. Hopefully it's a fun day. Hopefully we can relax a little bit. Either do the preparation now to be ready for whatever struggles you need to be ready for this week, or take the time to relax and take that break to be in the best mental state you can be and fully rested up for the week. Either way, I hope we can all enjoy today and come into tomorrow feeling the best we can be. I've been Tom Shima. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope we can do it again tomorrow or whenever it works best for you. Until then, take care and goodbye.